for being willing to meet this late. I know it's this time of year. We appreciate you guys being willing to continue the work. The Senate called this conference committee on Senate Bill 47, and we'd like to make an offer to the House.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we're in bill-to-bill session, right? So.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, so what we'd like to offer is, since we're using the vehicle, Senate Bill 47, we'd like to keep the contents of it. We'd like to include the contents of Senate Bill 71, but the House version that you guys passed out of committee. Okay, and then we'd like to include the contents of 2237, the Rural Opportunity Zone, but the contents that the Senate passed out of committee on it. And then we'd like to include the remote worker, multi-state. Have you guys seen that? Okay.
Yes, we passed 2105 out of committee. It did not make it above the line, but we did see it, hear it, and pass it out of committee.
Okay, thanks. We passed it across the floor, so we would like to include that content also. It was actually an executive order by the governor, and we're just putting it into statute. So, thank you. The other item is, I know in Senate Bill 50, we put fraud, no income tax required on unemployment fraud. We'd like to expand that to any stolen identity, that there would be obligated income tax, that there would be no obligation for income tax if you had stolen money as a result of stolen identity. If an IRA account or something was stolen and you would be obligated for income tax, we'd like to negate that. Okay.
Is that the language? I don't mean to interrupt, but the House Bill 2106, as you passed it out, is it similar language as you?
That is the language
Okay,
that we'd be
perfect.
offering. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, since it's passed, that'd be great. Yes. And then we would love to offer all of 2106, but we're being reasonable. So we're basically stripping out portions of it that we think are acceptable to both parties. So the other one would be the filing deadline. Kansas, last year we chased the federal for personal income tax, everybody but corporate. We keep chasing the filing deadline for federal. This year it's May 15th. So we would just like to change the language in the state statute that says that we will be compliant with the federal IRS filing, except for corporate.
Is that also out of that 2106? Okay, perfect. Just wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
And I know that's a pretty heavy lift, but if you would consider that, we would appreciate it.
Okay. I guess I would ask the good senator, what's your intentions for this evening? I'd like a chance to digest this a little bit with my conferees and.
Whatever time frame you guys would like.
Okay.
We're acceptable.
It is 11:11 by my time right now. If you just gave us 5 to 10 minutes, perhaps, would that be sufficient to?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yep. We will take a look at this and come back and move on.
We'll just wait here for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience. I was trying to bring my laptop up with, I'd forgotten to print out some stuff, so
No
I just
worries, that's great.
make sure I had
We want to
everything.
make sure we get this right, so.
Exactly. First of all, thank you for the offer. I think it's a very good offer. There are a lot of good components that we like about that. We would like to accept the Senate's position on the contents of 47. We would also like to accept the Senate's position on the House version of Senate Bill 71, which, as I understand it, includes the Eisenhower tax credits, the Watco short line rail tax credits, and the Cedar Crest tax credit. Moving on to the provisions, you talked about out of 2106, the fraud on identity theft benefits, the deadline extension, and I'm not sure what we call it, the remote workforce, the withholdings piece of that. We would also like to accept the Senate's position.
Okay.
And on 2237, and that's what I was pulling up on my laptop, I wanted to make sure what the Senate changes were to that. We did take a look at this, and I actually had a chance to work on this when I was chair of the Rural Revitalization Committee in the House last year. The RAWS program, in working with several different representatives and economic development people, we know that's a program that certainly needs to be continued. We like the extension piece in that, so we have some time to take a look at that. But analyzing the study that was done last year, we did have some concerns about how the program is managed and organized, and are there some improvements that we can make to that. We felt that just a base extension for right now would be what we would like to see. There were some changes. It looks like there was a change in the population of now less than equal to 40,000. Looks like we have 77 counties. Do we know what that new population is? That is the 77 at that new population, or is there another number of counties that?
Senator Alley.
Thank you. My understanding was when you go under 40,000, there's only 10 counties that are above that.
Okay, so this would expand it to
Expands it, and
95
Yeah.
counties?
I think that's 90 or 95, yeah, net range, but none of the RAWS counties that are in there today are removed by that requirement.
Correct, okay, thank you. And also, looks like there was a component in there addressing metropolitan counties instead of moving from out of state. If they moved from a metropolitan county as defined as Douglas, Johnson, Leavenworth, Sedgwick, Shawnee, or Wyandotte counties, they would also qualify.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, they were considered urban counties. So if you moved from an urban county to a rural county, you would qualify. It was an amendment made in committee, yes.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Would you care to elaborate a little bit on the reasoning? How does that benefit the state?
Absolutely. It was, the senator, I think his intent was to help rural Kansas, that we do have a migration of people towards the urban counties, and it was encouragement to move out to the rural counties.
Would they also have to be employed in that county, or if they lived in Shawnee County and they just moved across the county line, they still maintain their job in Shawnee County, would they still qualify?
That is correct.
Okay.
Under the way it's written, yes.
I see. Okay,
Yes.
thank you. I think it's our position that we would like to just move that back to a extension and let some of these changes in the program be worked out as we work through the bill next year, and take a large look at, rather than changing the program, not drastically, but it does change it significantly. That would be part of our offer, and we would also like to take a look, if it would please the chair, at adding the contents of House Bill 2414. This is an expansion of the child care tax credit that we heard in the House committee, passed it out of the House committee same day that we passed out the Eisenhower Senate Bill 71 contents. For some reason, it did not make it across the line. However, it does not create a new program. It just changes a number in the current program from 30% to 50% because the program was not being utilized very well, and they're trying to encourage more support for that program.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Are there any other items that you guys would like to offer?
Just one final item, and that is the contents of House Bill 2328, which is the aerospace aviation tax credit bill. We did not work this, full disclosure, we did not work this in tax committee in the House. It came out of our Commerce Committee. So I know Representative Mason is on that committee. If you have any questions directly, I'm sure he could probably take a look at those. I think the Senate had a similar bill.
282. Did it cross the Senate floor or the House floor?
No, it did not. It came out late and did not get above the line.
Okay, thank you. We'll consider. Thank you. Was there anything else?
Yes, that concludes our offer.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your patience and allowing us the opportunity. We'd like to counteroffer, Mr. Chairman. The Rural Opportunity Zone is an important program to many of my colleagues. In fact, they've been trying to work on this extension and expansion of the counties for a while. So we'd like to counter, we could remove the urban portion of it from moving from urban to rural within Kansas, but we would like to keep the 40,000 or less, or if you could negotiate some number on that, that would be great. 40,000 would be ideal, though. That's the position we'd like to consider. And then it's not that we're saying no, but we have grave heartburn over legislation that hasn't passed either floor. And that would be 2328, and that would be 2414. I do know that there is possibly a chance ongoing on general orders for veto session. So I think we will wait on those until a later time. If that's acceptable.
So that's on both of those. To understand that correctly, both 23.
Either one has passed either floor.
Correct.
It's my understanding, right? I'm just not real comfortable, especially, there was a little heartburn today, a 41-page bill, and hadn't passed the Senate chamber. So I really am not comfortable asking our chamber to vote on something that hasn't even passed the House either. So, thank you, though.
Once again, I don't know if we can be as quick as you were, but give us a few minutes. We'll go in the next room and we'll discuss this. Thank you. Thank you so much for your patience. I know the hour is late. We had final action on our four. It was final action, so we should be clear now. Thank you again for your offer. If a lot of things have transpired since then, so I just want to double check on a few things. The offer was on the RAWS portion to take out the urban county portion and leave the 40,000 population.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, that is correct.
Okay. We did want to counter with another offer on the RAWS piece, accept your position on the 40,000 population, and accept your position on the removing the urban, but would you consider going now to a 2-year extension? So we speed up the process for taking a look at the overall program. So that is our offer on that, on the RAWS portion.
Okay. Do you want to take these one at a, would that be the last thing that we're?
I had a few other things I wanted to, do you want to take them one by one, or do you want me to just make our entire
the list, and
pitch?
then we'll,
Okay.
it'd go quicker. Thank you.
I'd agree, thank you. Regarding 2414 and 2348 contents, I completely respect your comments about make sure that things go across the floor. It's very important. I respect the process. I respect the hearings when we can hear from the public on how this impacts Kansans, the debate in committee, the debate on the floor. It's very critical. However, having said that, on 2414, the child care tax credit, that is a program that is in existence. It only makes one simple change, that number from 30%, it bumps it up to a 50%. We're just trying to utilize this in the employer's workforce. This was a piece that was discussed during the Economic Recovery Committee, I believe. I was not on that committee, but I heard that it was vetted through that process during the interim. I know that we had some good discussion on it in our House Tax Committee, and I fully agree. The fact is it did not pass either floor, and I do respect that. But we would like to still see that included since it is just a small change. And also with 2328, there's some timing issues. That one was also addressed, I heard, in the Economic Recovery Committee. It's a very important, the state of Kansas really faces some stiff competition with other states. And I got some information, this was secondhand information, but it was from a very reliable source, the chair of our Commerce Committee, that Kansas has lost 18% of our aviation jobs since 2005. Oklahoma, our neighbor, has gained 100%. I believe in that same time frame was the statistics that he had specified to me. I think it's if I remember the fiscal note, it's like 7.9 million, I believe. I really would like to see us take a hard look at this. I know it's not an identical bill, but this has passed the House floor before, this concept and this idea. I don't think the numbers are all exactly the same, but this is an idea, a concept, even though it is a new program, it has been discussed and passed out of multiple committees, just not across the floor. But that would be our complete offer at this time.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll consider it if you'd give us a minute. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We did give consideration. You give a great sales pitch. We will absolutely accept your offer on the 2-year RAWS, but we are going to hold firm on the other two. It's not that we're against those programs. We're absolutely not. We just know that there's a chance of going on general orders, and we'd like to wait and see if they did, and that way our body can take a look at them. We did pass them out of committee. Both of those bills came out of the Senate Tax Committee. So I'll just be more comfortable once one chamber's taken a look at the bills. So we're not saying no, we're just saying no at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Give us just a moment, and we'll discuss that. I did want to clarify on the RAWS piece, we would be okay now with all three components of that, the 2-year extension, keeping the 40,000 population, and removing the urban.
Yes, I do reluctantly give up the urban, but I understand and will be glad to accept your position.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yep, no, thank you.
I know you're not used to us actually being this efficient, right?
No, that's not true.
We do appreciate your offer, and at this time, I think we're far enough apart. We've built some good things here, but, you know, we can't guarantee that we're going to go on general orders. I would love that. Unfortunately, that's not in my hands to control that, and I do understand.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Chairman, because I think I know where you're going, but we still have 2 other bills that we can conference on later. We're
Yes,
not
we do.
saying no, we're just saying no at this time. That would be our position. So if you would consider that, if you guys want to talk about that, we just don't want to put them in these bills.
It was just.
You guys
a
want to
moment.
think about it overnight, or, okay, that's fine.
Would you be willing to, I don't know what the Senate schedule is for tomorrow morning. I know the House goes in at 10 also. What would be a good time to come back and,
It's fine, it's however you need. I just don't see us changing our position on that. We've been pretty firm. You know, we were asked several items to look at tonight that have never crossed either chamber, that weren't even in tax, some items. I'm just not comfortable doing that at this time. We can always conference again and veto. Like I said, we have another vehicle, and so we can pick up the conversation at that point. We're not saying no, we're just saying no at this time. That's all.
at this time, why don't we just plan on picking this up at veto session? And
That's up to you. If you'd like to reschedule again tomorrow, or if you want to, I have a feeling some people are very uncomfortable if we go past tomorrow.
I agree. I completely agree there. Why don't we'll discuss this during the evening, and tomorrow morning I will get a hold of you first thing, and if we need to schedule a conference for tomorrow, we will do so.
I would appreciate that flexibility. That would be great. So we'll just wait to hear from you guys, and that way it'll give time to everybody to digest what we've got in the bill.
I think that's a good plan.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you.